Lee here. I'm here at Clearwater Beach, Clearwater, Florida, USA, and I'm going to be sailing today in the Sunfish class US Championships at the Midwinters. Now, this is a regatta that's open to all Sunfish sailors. All you have to do is get yourself down here and register and be a part of the class. There's a yearly membership fee. And then you could sail in cool locations like Clearwater and sail with a whole bunch of nice people. I'm going to flip this around. So we're kind of sailing pretty far away. There's the skyline of Clearwater. And we sailed out of Clearwater Community Sailing Center, and the race committee is hosting the regatta, and they are from Clearwater Yacht Club, which is just down the street from the sailing center. And today we have 50 boats, 50 Sunfish, 50 sailors, all the way from upstate New York, Texas, and a whole bunch of other people. So we have 50 boats here. This is racing. It's a pretty high level of racing, but anyone can actually sail in them, even if you're. It's a pretty long race course. I wouldn't suggest a beginner to start at a national championship because you'll probably be hit with a time limit. But if you're sailing in your club and you're doing pretty decently, and you go to local regattas and maybe a regional in your area, that's open to all sailors, and you can get a taste of some racing. We're about a quarter mile away from the committee boat, and I don't have a masthead fly today. I usually have a masthead fly on my top of the sail, but I didn't travel with it. But I did travel with this windy indicator, which is a wind indicator system from Aerosol Technologies. And I am not sponsored by Aerosol Technologies, but Kent Meisgades has developed this. And this is actually the third generation of the windy indicator. So it's actually pretty good, and I've been using it a little bit. So this is the first regatta that I'm actually sailing with it. I'm sailing in a Sunfish sailboat like always, and I'm using a one halyard in a Jen's position, and I'm using a mini one, which is about 6 to 8 inches from the top, if you could see that. I'm sailing also with my camera in my hands, so it's a little bit difficult. I have a compass down here that I just taped there. I'm not a big compass user, so it's mainly sights, read the line, get some wind shifts, and that's really what you really want to be doing it for, the wind shifts. And so if I got out here early enough, that starts in 15 minutes or so. If I was better on time, then I could sail about an hour or a half hour beforehand and start taking wind readings. And then you could sail on the lifted tack, which will bring you closer to the mark, and that's how you get around the race course faster. So if you are even speed, like most of these Sunfish are, it's people who sail in more wind pressure and who sail the shortest distance to the mark. And since the wind is always shifting, it's really important to pick up those little shifts, and sometimes the shifts are huge, and it's important to do that as a racer. As a cruiser and just having fun, sometimes it's nice to do it, especially if you're trying to get to a destination and cruise around. But for the most part, you just go out here and tool around. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a lot of fun. When I got out here, I was just going through the inlet underneath the Long Key Bridge, and got hit with some current, so that was interesting. Gotta watch out for these crab pots. It's really beautiful sailing down here in Clearwater Beach area. The temperatures today is March 18th, 2022. It's sunny. There's very little clouds in the sky, so the wind's kind of light, but they might be building later to the mid-teens. I'm going to go over to that race committee boat over there, and check in. So when you go race, you have to check in to make sure you're here so they can mark you as present, mainly for scoring and safety reasons. And it's a beautiful day. There's very little, very little waves out here. I guess if you're from Lake Bluff or something like that, like Gretchen is right there, she's used to flat. I don't know. She sails in a big lake, so like Lake Michigan. So they have some big waves. So let's see what we have on the boat today. Today I'm using, I'm borrowing a boat, and this is Gail Hauser's boat, and she has this daggerboard retaining bungee that's drilled into this combing or splash rail, and it has a tube here so it doesn't chafe the board, and this holds up. This is my daggerboard, which a rope handle. This is a FRP fiberglass reinforced plastic, and I have this bungee retaining system. I don't need this since I have this, but since I have it on my board already, I am going to keep it there, and it helps the sail come out a little, stay out. I'm using about a 1/4-inch main sheet with a 57-inch harken block here, and I don't use these cleats, but Gail has them installed. But I do use them when I came out, so that's pretty interesting. I do not use these cleats when I go racing. What else do I have? I have the hiking strap. It's held up with this. I'm not going to mess around with this hiking strap. Hopefully we'll be hiking today. I'm setting my gooseneck at, I think that's about 13.5, 14 inches. It's pretty light. It's not even white capping yet, so I'm going to predict it's like 8 miles an hour. I'm going to hit a little current here. I'm going to trim in. And so that's a little introduction of the International Sunfish Midwinters here at Clearwater Yacht Club. There's a race committee on water landing. They have the L flag up, which is that black and yellow flag, and that means come to hailing distance. And they want people to check in. They're checking out the line, and they're setting the course. I'm going to check in, and I'll see you guys later. I gotta figure out how to turn this off.